Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Resolve. Last we left off, I believe we'd finished up the first trial segment of episode 2. And we were getting into some more investigation. Hello? Oh, there it goes. Let's just get back into it then. 22nd of February, 1:11 p.m. Naruhodo Legal Consultancy. Bah. Ugh, he made it back in one piece. Just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. But a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the streets of London. You were very nearly flattened several times. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. There's like a car coming down the alley. Noisy. How is the audio? Looks probably fine. I really gotta do something about making this microphone closer to me. The problem is the desk is just short. If my chair was a bit shorter, that would help, but it isn't. I could put it on a box. I don't really have a stable box I could use. There aren't any books in close enough range to set it upon. I have a tissue box, but I don't think it'd sit on that very well. It would fall. Oh, thank you. And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can't find some new clues for court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that. Is everything alright? I suppose. I still can't quite believe it, that's all. I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean, in the Old Bailey, no less. The truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma. It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. Yes, I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I have no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if he were here with us. Thank you, Susato-san. Thank you. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. I know. Not only that, but then finding out that he is actually a barefaced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea. Get careful of your phrasing, Susato-san. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this than Mr. Shamspeare than we yet know. I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspear certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. Really need to do something about my chair. It just doesn't sit the best. It's probably more the desk at fault than the chair, to be honest. Because it's a fairly standard type. What's become of him, actually? I was told that he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Oh, which one is that? Let me see. Yes. He's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's as Londoners call it. Well, you know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken. Ah, yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. So, we know that Soseki-san took tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamspear's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamspear's room that will help solve the mystery. Well, naturally, Scully and our detectives have been all over the place already. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitely. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea in the bar of soap. Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. Kazuma Asuki, the best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway. Yes, you can fit my inside. Yeah. Yes, you could fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. Oh no. Kazuma, you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. That you really ought to go into law, be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it, believe me. I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. Anyway, London is a cultural capital of the world, a city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, and one day... One day what? Oh, no. Never mind. Naruhodo-san. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better, that was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right, but... Yes. I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? I mean this. His katana. I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. And I have it at my side in court. I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Kadama. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asugi clan. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. It can't be parted from my katana. Kadama guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do. Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I had hoped the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet, I've not found a single clue. I see. You can look around. You don't have the desk set up yet, it would seem. I swear it lit up for a second. Perhaps we should put the spade away somewhere. That's not a spade, Naruhodo-san. It's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? You're so right, Naruhodo-san. You mustn't quarrel over such trifles. On reflection, then, I think I'll leave the spade where it is. Yes, I think that's for the best. We may need a shovel when we're working in the garden. I thought spades were just the small ones. I heard that there's another room behind that door. Yes, it's my bedroom, Naruhodo-san, as you well know. Shall I help you unpack your things? That's very kind, but no thank you. Your luggage looked very heavy. Are you sure I can't help you move it? That's very kind. Really, no thank you. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know. The only secrets I have is the 5-yen banknote hidden on the backside of my Tadama doll. These tanks are for keeping sea creatures. They're called aquariums, and they were all the rage in London at one time, apparently. Yes, the English are so clever, coming up with the idea of having ocean life on display in the home. And it means you always have an emergency midnight feast on hand, too. I'm not sure that's really the idea. Let's head over to... we got lots of options. I guess we'll head downstairs first. How's it going? 22nd of February, Shamsa Suite. Oh, Bruno and Susie. Right, you're back. Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am, and you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Aha, the Wanderers returned at last. On earth have the pair of you been? We've been in court. Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case. It was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Is Lord Van Zeeks an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That's a scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Okay, what are you doing? Well, I guess we'll ask about this first. Just since it's listed first. Terrible chair. Barak von Zeeks. Yes. It's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? D? Oh no. Hello, video game? Hello, video game? Video game, please. I think it crashed. It's definitely frozen. That's, that hasn't happened before. Maybe if I unplug and plug my controller back in? Okay. That's not working. I didn't get that far. I can speed through the dialogue. Please close. I have to use Task Manager, I think, perhaps. Where is it? I don't know why that happened. I guess we'll have to just mash through the dialogue until we get back to there. Very odd. Let's see. That's fine. We didn't get that far. Though, with the fact that that can happen, apparently, perhaps I should save a bit more often. I guess it doesn't auto-save, doesn't it? Looks like it sent me back in here, so there shouldn't be too much more to be done. Okay, good. Terrible smell. You're here. You didn't realize the trial was today. Can I move this a little quicker? I probably shouldn't use the controller so close to the microphone. as we know. Okay, I guess the autosave isn't too off, but... I'm not sure what will cause that. I guess my headphones are acting up. They made a noise like they reconnected shortly after that happened. But I don't know that unplugging the headphones would have crashed the game. Like, it might have messed up the audio, I could see that having happened, but... It shouldn't have frozen the whole thing. I don't know. Oh well. Let's just get back into it. Lord Barakon Zeeks. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutors fought for someone's conviction, that person's doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue being set upon by a highwayman. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zieks' own hand. As it happens, Mr. Sato, that is quite impossible. Oh, why? Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued. But 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. And really did end bitterly indeed. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky, or incredibly unlikable. I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Mr. Sato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zieks seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed. It is an interesting observation. Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes? It was about 10 years ago that Barak Von Zieks chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. No! Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? Well, I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Oh, but... Veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course. I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Zuko, why are you screaming? He just likes to stand in the hallway and wail. He's lonely, but he couldn't possibly come into the room I'm already in. He needs me to go hang out in, like, the kitchen or something. So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Oh, well, most probably in this, I would say. I don't know what that is. What is that? My dear fellow, it is, of course, my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. A genuine tea versus what? Oh my. There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves with drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris? At the ready, early. Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? It's turned completely black. And what a foul odor it's giving off. Indeed, and the blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. Well, not anymore. It appeared that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with that black liquid now? I dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes. That's why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madame. Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science, in the world of criminal investigation also. Yes, forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times. I regularly engage in the scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Herlock-Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea indicant. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. So your tea test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases then. Perhaps a more practical example is acquired. Fingerprints. Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels here and there. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course. Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. Now what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes. As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. That's a spirit, Bruno. See you later. Yes, until later. No, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us. You were? Yes, of course. You just said so a moment ago. You said we'd witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later. In all likelihood, probably, maybe, well, I might. Your commitment astounds me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Bruno. Bye-bye. Bye, Susie. Bye. Okay. Well, you can look at all the things in the room, but I'm not sure how much different they'd be. It's curious how this normal metal chest is being used as a coffee table. I'm even more curious to think that Iris's father's notes about Mr. Sholmes' cases are inside it. You mustn't look in there, Bruno. Those notes are a secret between Daddy and me. And Mr. Sholmes isn't somehow in on the secret? Well, he tends to forget, you see. As soon as he solved a case, in fact. Once, when he read one of my manuscripts, we had a terrible argument about it. Never have I solved such a case, he said. He was absolutely adamant. Sometimes I wonder if he's from another planet, don't you? I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in this country, in fact. Although, I do yearn for a Japanese kotatsu. Putting your legs under a warm, blanketed table is so comforting. Do be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't mistakenly put your feet into the fire, will you? You'd suffer terrible burns, you know. I worry sometimes about how Sasato-san sees me. Look at all these mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases. You know, Mrs. Sato's eyes still sparkle every time she lays eyes on them. But yours don't, do they, Bruno? Well, I have read The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes now, by order of Mrs. Sato. But the trouble is, having seen the real thing in action, some of the stories don't quite ring true for me. Well, he does solve the cases, in the end. I suppose so. Perhaps there's more to the great detective than meets the eye. Oh, cute. It always strikes me how pretty and neatly arranged this tea set is. It's my favorite one. In fact, I think it's high time for afternoon tea. We just had tea. Right there, I'll fetch the special blend that I prepared for today. Oh, Iris, you do love your tea, don't you? She looks so happy at the prospect. And after you've drunk it, I'll collect some experimental data, if that's alright. Just what is she about to make me drink? Ah, yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? So, what's on the blackboard today? Fuck up, Bruno. What is this? Oh, I'm just playing around with ideas for the title of next month's installment. Another idea I had was the Barrel Coronet. I'm really torn about which one to use. What do you think, Bruno? Anything but Buck Up Bruno, obviously. I suppose you're right. I tell you what, I'll surprise you with it. You'll have to wait until next month and see. Ugh, so many sleepless nights. That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles, too. Oh yes, don't touch any of those. They might explode. A charming shelf full of charming bottles full of charring ingredients. No, I only mistakenly drank from one of them the other day. What? And how? I think he was lucky, though. He hasn't exploded yet. Chemistry can be a very hazardous occupation. It's living with Mr. Sholmes that's the hazardous occupation, if you ask me. Oh. If I remember correctly, this large and imposing lump of iron is called a typewriter. To think that every single one of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes blossomed from this very machine. It's such a dreamy thought. I actually had to go on it the other day. The metal bars that move when you hit the keys got all tangled up somehow, and that made Iris angry. Mr. Naruhodo, you're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please don't do that again. Ugh, now it makes Asanta-san angry as well. Iris? That's incredible concentration, that is. I find it quite remarkable how she can focus on so many different things at once. Perhaps I should try drinking more herbal tea. Blend third from the right would be good for you, Runo. Oh, Iris. This girl's destined for great things, I'm sure. And they're just hanging out. This enormous machine takes up the entire desk, doesn't it? It's really very imposing. Herlo's great analytoscope, yes. You can analyze anything at all, you know. But I've never seen anyone actually using it. He appears to be using it right now. Well, it's his invention, so I don't know how to operate it. Why don't you get it to analyze its own operation, then? Oh, Roto, you're razor sharp today, aren't you? There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment. It looks as though it might topple, and yet it doesn't. The epitome of Mr. Sholmes' brilliance. I don't get it. As it happens, I'm quite well practiced when it comes to stacking shelves myself. Just the other day, the shelf in my office finally gave way under the strain, though. It looks as though it might topple, and it does. Yes, the epitome of your disarray. I really don't get it. This is Mr. Sholmes' famous violin. The one he found being sold for a song at a pawnbrokery. What's it called again? A shoddy something. Oh, yes, this wonderful instrument features in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. It's a world-famous Stradivarius. What? Stradivarius, Mr. Naruhodo. Stradivar. Are you even trying now? We'll come back to this another time, I think. Mr. Sholmes seems to be making funny faces at something on his desk. Thought he said he was going to come with us to Mr. Shamspeare's room. No doubt he's preparing something, Mr. Naruhodo. Something amazing. And he's doing it whilst asleep. Is there no limit to this man's talents? I have fun with that. Let's check in on this guy. How you doing? Stressed, probably. "22nd of February in local prison, cell 9. Oh, Mr. Natsume is back. So he is. Mr. Natsume, hello. I think I need to tone down his voice because it hurt my throat before. I am the cat. Sorry? I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Sherlock Holmes. I don't know about courts, or trials, or Old Baileys. I'm a cat, that's what I am. Just a cat. Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality. Trying to? He already has, completely. So, what is your name, then? As yet, I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? I am not a cat. It worked. He's back in the real world. What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that. It's obvious. My accursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate. Mr. Natsume, no. This morning's proceedings in court prove that there's hope. Yes. Local student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but the Reaper is omnipresent in court, in my lodgings. Here, there, everywhere. What's he looking straight at me for? Zuko, will you stop? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss. Oh, yes, we must. In my whole life, have I ever been so moved as I was today? No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. But if I just block those out, then today, being in that courtroom was the most moving experience of my life, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're too kind. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea, just as we deduced, and are analyzing as we speak. There's nothing wrong with that tea. They won't find a drop of poison in it. That's a solemn, sworn Solseki certainty. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh, yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies. And at the time, you were both completely fine. As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamspeare then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim, then. Ron Shamspeare, what have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything at all. Right. What I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner. But you know what, Mr. Natsume? His trick to steal the gas, probably. But the soap, of course. What else? Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend? Of course I am, if I had money. I wouldn't have chosen to live an accursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Oh, yes. You said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly. Especially the room that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place. It's trying to kill me. Capital offender. Capital defender. Might I ask, local student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps. Can you tell me about this capital offender? What are you talking about? I'd like more information. I don't think showing you anything I have is gonna help. It's not as though I picked anything new since the trial. Let's see if we can talk to the guy. Fucking 22nd of February, St. Bartholomew's Hospital, recovery ward. What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily thou art mistaken. Mistaken my foot. You were looking at my painting. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. It was foul indeed, the poison that moustache villain gave it me. Forgive me, lady. Forgive me, lady. I wish you'd died from that poison. God of mercy, ample lady. Thou seest I have vigor still. Behold my Shakespeare dance. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Oh, lo, it's the lawyer from the land whence rises the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspeare? Mary, I do believe I am returned to unto another ward. He was looking! That's what he was doing, looking at my terrible work. Hasten, fellow, so darkly clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Oh, well, thank you. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Non exunt. Okay. Mr. Shamspeare might technically be the victim in this case. There's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person. Scream. Is everything alright? Oh, yes, I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. It must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. And she would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though. I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and... Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, You must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings. Also, literally, why? That's just snooping to Snoop. She's not even related to this case. At least as far as we are aware thus far. She wouldn't really be here if she didn't have something to do, but... The young maiden might have chocolates or biscuits or caramel. I don't like caramel. It's sticky and I don't really like the flavor that much. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Crane? I am. Thank you, I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me. Oh, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I was concerned, just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. Then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I look back on this fondly. Really? Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Okay. Let's head over here then. 22nd of February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings, ground floor. Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually. A lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware. Yeah, I know the score. Oh, yes, what other thing? The soap on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it with the tea in it? Yeah, we found it all right. There was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it. It's with the identification section at the yard now. I'm looking into it. The results should be available later today. That's wonderful news. Thank you. Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing, forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here. If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh. That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change. London's winters can be very hard and harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Sasato-san and I are going to make it to spring. It's true. We don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove. Look how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter there. Yes, from all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning. It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shamsphere must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. The ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night. During their heated literary debate, yes. Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? Sounds like it was quite a discussion. Now I think of it, I'm sure the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison. That's fiction, Mr. Sato. Let's hope it stays that way. So it turns out that Mr. Shamspeare wasn't eating the soap at all. That's right. The mystery of why he had it on a plate whilst holding a fork in his hand is solved. Yes, the prize his latest ice coin out of its mold. And in the process, he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two. It certainly was hard to imagine, let alone to do, so. The sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressing bricked-up window. Yet, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you? It sounds like a very wise life lesson, Mrs. Sato. Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo. Are we really people to talk to? Are you looking for new clues, Inspector? On Lord Van Zeke's orders, yeah. Don't come back till you've got some for me, he says. Tch. Oh dear, poor you. Yeah, poor me, because we already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say. Well, at least he's honest. Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed. Is it not your good self who asked me to attend to the scene? Oi! What are you doing here, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems. Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you out to show us your forensic talents in action, as you promised? With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madame. What's all this? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Sherlock Sholmes' sensational skin print Sega gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup. Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. There. Oh, there. Now spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. Spray? How do I do that exactly? A little press of A on the area you're interested in is all that is required, like this. What is that stuff? It's like fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator and a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. You may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Okay. You definitely messed with the window. Makes sense. You were sitting in this chair. You touch both the cups. What about this weird thing? Messing with this? Alright. No clothing. No. Oh. Look, there are dozens of handprints here. A great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. Ugh, sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all. And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Someone behind it. Oh, very true, Mrs. Sato. It's a bit of a mystery, then. Let's move the painting. Are we going to deactivate this at some point, or do I have to back out myself? Okay, well it's not deactivating, so. Oh, okay. I must have missed the spot for that then. Touch the clothing, which makes sense. Also touch the lamp. I guess that's to turn it on. What am I missing here? Oh. Oh, look at all this here. Oh yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here? There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? Oh yeah, that weird, sticking up floorboard. I had seen that, but I figured the floor was just made poorly. We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say. Handprints on the floor there. And on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment. What is it, Mrs. Sato? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out. One of the... You mean it's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Mr. Sato. So, what do we have in here? What are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson. Stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips whilst we dig around under the floor here. Fancy talks put me off my food anyway, Sholmes. New bit of evidence is exactly what I need. We're all here. We can all look at it. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you can make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw to Tommy mat. No, I know. But I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Are you curious? Oh! I'll investigate it once. There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. Then, how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that. Oh. There you are. A print for you. Photograph of the handprints on the wall has been entered into the court record. Sure. Traces of handprints on the wall discovered using the skin print seeker gun. There are multiple prints on either side of a hanging picture. Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make prints too. Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know. So am I. I mean, he's been right there. The room's not that big. You could just, have watched him. How's it going? I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson! Really, it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? Well, perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends? We're not friends. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Ugh, I'd kill to know what was under that floorboard. There's not... You just look at him. He's not covering it up. Alright then, fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. Suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. There's one thing I know about this man, is that he blows with the wind as fickle as the weather. Stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There are 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? Photographic print, tin box. These all sound very interesting. Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. Made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, and nature got him first. Oh my goodness! He'd committed a capital offense? A man by the name of Selden, a masterpiece of work into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he'd knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard of treasure, you mean? Jewelry and the like, but he'd hidden it somewhere. No one knows where. Now he's dead. Papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell, or some such was the headline. Does not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? Want to find the treasure for himself, perhaps? I suppose now that you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we got on the Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Capital offender article has been entered into the court record. Newspaper article about Selden, a criminal sentenced to receive the death penalty. However, he died of illness in prison whilst his loot remained undiscovered. Blah. Up the picture. So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. And that's the guy who was in that picture that Mrs. Green had, or at least it was in her hospital room. Yeah, this would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garrett, the landlord, of course. Who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garrett's son, perhaps? Perhaps. We can take that print if you'd like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of this young fellow, that is. Ah, is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Fortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out, pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. A hidden photograph has been entered into the court record. A photographic print found in Mr. Shamspeare's room, which shows the landlord, Mr. Garrett, together with a young man. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspeare himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garrett was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. What's in the box? Oh, this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamspeare? Give us a clue, man. You didn't even have a chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yes, an error. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside. Is there nothing more to this box, then? I wonder... Kitty? What are you doing in here? Oh, look! It's that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name? It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. I wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Oh, wonderful! Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I brought for your cat's meat bin. I brought for you from the cat's meat bin. There's a gross lump. He couldn't be happier now, look. I just hope he can bring some happiness to his owner, too. You're just back down on the floor? Oh. Hello, kitty baby. Kitty. That was a cheeky little meow, Hawkeye. Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while, and we have an investigation to get back to. Do we, though? Not sure there's anything else to look at in here. Oh. There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and a bottle. And both of them are cracked. Yes, not much use, are they? What's the matter? Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all. Prosecutor Lord Renzeeks. Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy. You can suggest it next time we meet. Oh, Zuko! It's out there yelling. We haven't looked out here yet. 22nd of February, Briar Road. Anything notable? Well, it doesn't really look like it. Nope. Are you here? Do you have words? 22nd of February, Mr. and Mrs. Garridub's room. Mr. Garridub appears to be out. Oh well, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Okay. I guess we'll head here, see if we can find that guy. Is he here? Hello, ma'am. I have a picture of someone you know, probably. Or not. No. Just checked off still. Photograph in his frame. Wow, that's the same guy, isn't it? Yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for the matters of the heart. Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. I want to play Sims, but I want the Sims to be good. Hey there. Do you know who this is? Oh wait, you were talking about capital offender, weren't you? What's this? What's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Ah, so he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. A convicted killer, an evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings. What? He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another, a miserable mustache, much maligned Japanese man. What is that noise? I don't know. Just like a... It sounds like wind or something, but it's too constant for that. Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. What? And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garridub's house. He lived where you do now?
That's right, yes, exactly where I live now, in my very room.
Oh my. Your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense?
But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse.
What really is the curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume?
It's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger, he was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside.
Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, is it?
Yes, well, that was the start of it.
Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume?
The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas.
Gas?
I only found that out after I'd signed the lease. When Mr. Garrett came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal.
Lucky for Mr. Garrett, maybe. But not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you?
It is. At first, I just felt as though I was being watched. And all the time.
And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you?
The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. And the room is as cold as ice.
But why is your room so cold?
London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. For some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out. The room fills with gas.
But that's terrible. That's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspeare last night, when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident than can be explained by a curse, though. Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garrett's rooms. Faulty piping, it sounds like. You gotta get that whole thing fixed up. Would you like to see this photograph? Have you seen this man?
Mr. Natsume. It's nothing much, but... it's been too long since I've been offered a present with that delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland. Etiquette.
What?
You're too kind, I accept it gladly.
Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually. I wanted your opinion. I don't think you'd have any opinion on this, unless you... No, you don't care. Oh well. Nothing really happening in here. Are you, like, able to be talked to now?
No.
They're still hanging out on the floor. We can't even go to his room. It doesn't look like anything's happening here. You back yet? Can I talk to you? Okay. 22nd of February, Mr. and Mrs. Garridam's room. There you are.
Ah, you're here now, Mr. Garridam.
Right, bally business it is for me, you know. Getting out and about.
Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance?
Naturally, fate of my lodgings hangs in the balance and all that. Not a trial to miss.
The fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes.
Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such.
Ah, well, at least he knows.
Makes you wonder what the blazes is going on, don't you know?
Yes, I'm sure it does.
In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago.
You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you?
Testifying with your wife about what happened. Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business.
I see.
So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, huh? Some fishy fellow from the Far East, a failed actor chap, a questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. Thanks to that bally curse.
The convict's curse, you mean?
Oh, heard the stories, have you? Oh, the scoundrel was arrested, yeah? The next chap in the room goes and keels over. And there was that woman who dropped dead just outside on the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. She didn't die, and also, you know exactly how that happened. My next step! Well, can't help but get the collywobbles, can you?
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green? Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspear, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still.
Yes, well, so is that plastic convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, and a fascinating history. Why, it sounds like a lap of luxury.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, there's a bath, a toilet included, and a fireplace either.
But you do look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up here.
Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishaps or such like. Well, I think you've had your mishap already, sir.
That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes.
Heaven forgive me, what just came to my lips. Some fishy fellow from the Far East, a failed actor chap, questionable character, eh?
There's no need for that, Mr. Garridam. That's right. Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy.
He is undeniably peculiar, however.
Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous... Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away?
Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone, and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were.
I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamspear been lodging under your roof? Favorite actor, chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it.
Only 3 months. He's quite new here too, then.
And what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garrett, if I might ask? Well, it was that Selden scoundrel that happened.
Selden? The convict, you mean? Do Selden and Shamspeare have some kind of connection, then?
Convict chap Selden passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see. Some malady or other.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face, the actor fellow.
Really?
Yes, I remember quite distinctly. The small of this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspeare, do decide to take thy room on the middle floor offered everywhere for rent. Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. Already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee. Those curls must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor's taken. It's ground floor nothing. Very well, we have an accord. Glad to hear it. Welcome to Briar Road. Lower Shamspeare dance to celebrate. From what I heard in court today, it sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in arrears with the rent, too. Yes, fellow was a bally player, all right. He hasn't paid the rent once since he moved in? Is that what you're saying? Thank you for your candor, Mr. Gadab. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me.
What's happened to you?
Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know.
Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then.
Do you know who this is in the picture? You should.
Mr. Garridub, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there?
No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name.
Duncan Ross.
Street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really.
Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume?
Yes, that's right. Oh, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room on the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap.
Would you mind telling us a little more about him?
Yes, Duncan Ross, young chap was attending art school. I had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them.
History of cheap rent, maybe, yes.
Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. I hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers were up to at the time. Sadly, it was rather tardy to discover what had happened. The smell of gas that alerted me it was.
Oh yes, synonymous with the smell of death.
Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. Once we got inside, we all bodily collapsed.
Because of the gas?
Yes, the room was full of it. No air at all. Stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed.
So Mr. Ross suffocated to death?
Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. Can't tell you how much it set me back to have the lot replaced all over the house.
But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. That the stove goes out at night while he's asleep in bed.
That's the bally curse! Convict's curse! I've done my duty as a landlord now.
Someone's feeling defensive.
Ah, that reminds me, actually.
Yes?
About young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady.
A love letter, you mean?
Yes. Where did I put it now? Oh, here it is, left on my desk.
If you'll excuse me. Let me see now. What does it say? My most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence? My dear Mrs. Sato, that is precisely why I preface my reading with if you'll excuse me. I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes. No!
Sadly, he didn't address it, though. By no means delivering the thing. Rather sad, really.
I see. That's going to play on my mind. But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone. Yes, I suppose you're right.
Indeed. The intended recipient's address is missing, however. There is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Mr. Sholmes, please! I already had to chastise you about this once.
My undying love to you, my colorful darling, Olive Green.
Olive Green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside this house 5 days ago. The victim of the last case Soseki-san was in court for, regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just chance that her name's come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? Mr. Naruto, whatever can this mean?
Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Mr. Sato.
Anything else?
You have thoughts on him being weird on the wall?
Mr. Garrett, could I show you this?
Quite a couple days, as you can imagine. I'm afraid I'm rather tired. I haven't really got the energy in the old eyeballs, to be honest with you.
Some other time, then.
Alright, well, you go, like, take a nap or whatever. Maybe we can talk to her about it now. Hey, we got a letter. We think it's yours. It's got your name on it. 22nd of February, St. Bartholomew's Hospital, Recovery Ward.
Mr. Naruto, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green's well enough to be discharged at last. This is good news, but hopefully just before she leaves. What is it? Miss Green! What's that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. One moment. I'll be with you in a jiffy. Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here? The doctor said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all. Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright. I don't really have anything else to tell you. Alright, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can't coax something out of her. We have a letter for you. It's not in my inventories. Oops. It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green. Oh, yes, I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space, and not people like me anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat. She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure. Did it go in my inventory? No. I'm gonna have the photograph. I'd like to look at your objects first. This is the card that Miss Green was looking at so intently before, isn't it? Mr. Naruhodo, you shouldn't be peeking at a young woman's private effects. Alright, I should say peeking for gentlemen's effects only. Mustn't do that either. Maybe you, Mr. Sato, shouldn't be peeking into a young man's mind either, This is the bottle that Miss Green was just about to drink from when we arrived. Yes, she looked rather preoccupied, didn't she? Perhaps it's very bitter. I can't stand bitter medicine. I suppose that could be it. In fact, whenever a doctor prescribes me medicine for a number of days, I always take it all at once. Oh no! Well, if you have to take something you don't like, it's best to get it all out of the way in one go, isn't it? Oh dear. And I thought it was Miss Green I should be worrying about at the moment. Here I have a photograph. Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you? Oh, goodbye. Pink. No, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down when she did. Oh, Miss Green, are you alright? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you like that. No, it's alright. Just wasn't expecting it. But how did you know about Duncan? Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter. To you. It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan. A year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's why he decided to move into a cheaper room, to save money for the wedding. And that's what led him to Mr. Garridub's. Yes, he told me he'd found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. Then, a month ago, that's when it happened. We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad. I was starting to think that's just her look. But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon. Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our... Mr. Naruhodo! You said it. Mr. Naruhodo! Surely you were not about to leave. That's quite out of the question. Is that rat dead? Surely there was a button that hid the text. Whoops, not that one. Mr. Sholmes, I didn't realize you were here. I don't know what button would do that. Oh. Well, that takes a screenshot, apparently. Not that. But of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows, as always. Well, make your presence known next time. Mr. Sholmes, what's this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Sato, is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There is a case waiting to happen right under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening, with nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see. You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo. I know you can. Hello, man. I must look at your dead rat. Please do not drink poison. Mouse seems to be dead. Look. I didn't notice it before. I didn't notice it there before, did you? Did you? What kind of mouse is that big? I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. You don't think? Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you've had before has spilled out on the floor, and the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison. Don't worry. I will attend to the mouse presently. Just throw it in the garbage. Screen. Are you intending to go the same way as that rodent? Take your knife. Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison. No! Miss Green, please! Please, talk to us! It definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand, in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere. Yes, it may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Okay, that's not... Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. "10 seconds later, we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? Well, with this being a hospital and all, when the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking. It conspicuously lacks a label on what it contains. Pink. I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green. Don't talk of such things. Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison. Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done? I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection. No, none. Neither the sender's name or address appear to be written on the envelope or card. It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anyone else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute, the 17th of this month? That's the day we're stabbed on Briar Road. Presumably she'd be on her way there. And 5 p.m. And it's precisely the time when the incident occurred. She'd have been late. Slug and Salad, yes. Pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road being the street that Mr. Garredup's house is on. Does this mean that... Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day, when I was struck in the back by the knife, was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Goodness. So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day? Sorry, I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything. Yes, I'm very sorry to have had to drag up such painful memories for you. No, it's fine. Miss Green, please promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. Besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. Might sound a little conceited, but, well, that's how all this has made me feel. Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yes, it's late. And, Mr. Naruhodo? Did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamspear, Mr. Garredup's lodgings, the convict Selden. And there are many facets to this case. We've yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling anyway. I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis. And to Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean? Yes, will they have found strychnine in it or not? Well, I feel that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Reaper. Oh dear. Yes, Barak von Zeeks. But I wish you every success, of course, and though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial. Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come? Indeed. Whatever happens, I shall be there, assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people. Away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, lonely lurk. So Seki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here. So I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my companion, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow would be a new dawn, for all of us. Be continued. Just sent me down here, but that's fine. Alright. I think we should be good to keep going, honestly. Let me just adjust my seating position. Terrible noisy chair. I should like do something today. Like bake something maybe. The cookies are gone. So is my apple crumble. Still have more apples, I could make something else. Maybe a cobbler. That sounds nice. But then again, I want chocolate. I wonder if I can make it chocolate, put some cocoa powder in it or something. 23rd February, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. This is it then, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. To the miserable curse that has been plaguing Mr. Natsume. To everything. And, in my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you. I always appreciate your help, Mr. Sato. Suffering so sick he's selfishly sidelined. Good morning to you too, Mr. Natsume. Good morning, locum student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. Listen to you two chatting away happily as if the main player of today's trial isn't here. Why would you do that? Why? Oh dear, we didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that because you had your eyes shut so tightly, you were meditating, finding inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you.
I was waiting. What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally, that's because I've attained spiritual enlightenment. The path of literature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death. Or such like. That is the sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut.
I missed the signs, I'm afraid, somehow. You'll have to forgive me. And you mustn't talk of your path leading you to death, Mr. Natsume.
That was just an example.
Oh, yes, there it is. Inner calm.
You barely came to see me at all yesterday. I was sure you'd abandon me and return to our beautiful, long-lost homeland.
We've not even been in Great Britain a week yet. Yes, well, anyway. I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth.
I've actually reached an important decision myself.
Oh, what sort of decision?
I shall fill you in after the trial.
All right. Would seem Mr. Sholmes isn't coming today after all. It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits. It's a very clear message, I think. And he's overslept again.
The great detective, my arch nemesis. Long may he stay away, if you ask me. Defendant and your legal representative. The trial is about to begin. Make your way into the courtroom immediately.
Today, once again, we face the Reaper. And when the Reaper stands for the prosecution, the defendant's fate is sealed. But I don't believe in that legend any more than I believe in Soseki-san's curse. The truth is hidden here somewhere, and I won't let it escape me. I have to keep believing in my client, and keep fighting to the very end. That's all.
"23rd of February, 9:40 a.m. Old Bailey Courtroom. Hello there, everyone. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. Call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Prosecution is ready.
Yes, the defense is ready.
Very good. Now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury, chosen by lot to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed? Absolutely. Justice will be done, you mark my words.
I feel obliged to say, I feel especially ruthless some days when my hand is sitting just right.
Oh, well, I wonder if you could adjust my hat for me. Please be as ruthless as you like. Thieves deserve to die, if you ask me. Especially gas thieves, as I have no sympathy for the man at all. Look, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again now. I don't have time for this. I've got my own problems. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here, and lead his flock to a righteous verdict again today. Now, Lord Van Zeeks, what can you tell us? I didn't find a lot of new stuff here, but... The prosecution's report, please, for the court. In relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday regarding the defendant's tea.
So he does have the results.
Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the blackguard in the dock.
Pray allow me a moment to savor a liquid of a more sanguine hue. Sanguine? Sanguine? In fact, I'll defer to the good detective for the report. Here's to you, Inspector. Oh, that's fine. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As indicated by the defense, we found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window in the snow. There was indeed a frozen reddish liquid in a little depression on the top of it.
Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him that night.
Well, the brains of the arts analyzed it, and yes, you're right, it was tea. And there wasn't a trace of strychnine or any other toxic substance in it.
No poison at all.
In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him to the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear.
What a revelation.
As I suspected. This makes it quite clear. The defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is...
My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again. Typical Nipponese reaction. Blameless here, right?
What the?
Yes, it's true, no poison was found in the few drops of liquid recovered from the soap on the window ledge. But what logic is in that? Do you take a drop from the Thames and conclude that the water in the ocean isn't salty? My word, the water in the ocean is extremely salty, Counsel. Exactly. Unfit for drinking, just as the victim's tea was on the night in question, as the court has already heard. Bitter was the precise word from the lips of Mr. William Shamspeare, whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand. Is tea not meant to be bitter? That's a thing I hear it described as. I don't really drink tea on its own. I put, like, some sugar in it, so I don't know if it would be bitter, but... Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's quest.
Mr. Shamspeare. Yes, it sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theatrical friend.
Bailiff, show Mr. Shamspeare to the stand. Mr. William Shamspeare, victim of this despicable crime. Oh, heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a bellyful of the foul fluid given in mine insolence. Yes, but as was revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as we have perhaps first been led to believe. While using bars of soap such as this, he's been stealing gas from the supply company, yes. One may smile, be a villain. Sooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, then have a room full of the sweet fuel given.
That's right, fellow jurors, don't forget, this man is a rotten thief. I haven't forgotten. You kept all that about the ice coins a tight secret, didn't you? You should have owned up sooner.
Arrest him, I say. Arrest him at once. Let him feel the sting of my tail. Oh, indeed, if I did to vile and cowardly means, if I plotted to further mine own ends, I confess. Thou wouldst not pardon my sins, of that I am sure.
If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here?
Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, death be well deserved. But would it that a still greater crime passeth unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of farther east than Ravona did contrive to poison me.
Objection!
But there was no poison in the tea found in your room. The police have attested to that.
What the defense would assert as an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shamspeare? Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak. Very well, let the witness testify to explain this inconsistency. Tell the court why it is that the poison apparently entered your body, though none was found in the tea. Witness testimony. The tea inconsistency. A Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. It was in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant sacredly poured his wicked poison. Not feigning distraction in all debate, and added a drop of his own drink past his lips. When he departed by and by, I did use that tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice. Thus, 'tis no surprise that poison not be found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap. I mean, I can fight you with the cups that I have. They didn't leave a stain in his cup. Poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. A normal way for poison to be administered, in my experience. Quite, otherwise it would be disastrous. Disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance.
But no poison bottle was found at the scene.
Because, quite simply, Nepomnes took the bottle back to his own room. The absence of a vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide.
Ugh, I knew that.
By now, it should be perfectly clear. A bar or two of cheap soap. It's wholly insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accused's hands.
Ah.
Sirs, madams, it is true that I, Shamspeare, be a common thief of gas. But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. Wherefore would I lie? Verily, I have no cause. I have naught to lose. Well, I do declare. Thank you for your testimony, witness. Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
Alright. Japanese man to come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot.
Hold it!
I understand that you are already acquainted with Mr. Natsume. Is that correct?
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Do I know thee, or know thee not? Methinks 'tis all can know, that thy destiny mingles with mine.
You lost me at the first, thee.
Zounds, sir. Thou must learn the English tongue afore thou turns thy hand to lawyering.
I did, but I must have missed the archaic Elizabethan lecture.
Early, and in truth, it was a fine flavoured brew. Though a drop of poison did barb its sweetness, as the thorn doth barb the sweet rose. That, dear friends, be the simple truth.
Listen to Mr. Shamspeare. He seems in even better form than he was yesterday.
Well, he's had a bit more time to recover from whatever the hell happened to him.
Either that, or I'm in worse form.
That fated evening, after I did dine, at Grubb's Grubbery, local alehouse of good report, naught did pass my lips but the tainted black tea. But behold, poison was not in the tea at first.
'twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison.
Hold it!
Are you saying that you saw the moment when the poison was added to your tea?
I've witnessed the act, and then drank the tea. Thou dost describe the actions of a fool. Quite so, quite so. But no one likes going thirsty, do they? Sooner would I die quenched than parched, would I have a choice.
Actually, on the night in question, the water moon was frozen, I believe, wasn't it?
Were it not for the tea, in sooth, I would sooner have died frozen than quenched or parched.
Right. No ice coins means no heating.
The witness had more than one brush with death on the night in question, it would seem. There. Mind the court, Mr. Shamspeare, as to whether the accused drank any of the tea with which he brought with him. With the greatest of pleasure, my liege. Thus feigning distraction in our debate, and added a drop of his own drink past his lips.
Hold it!
But the teacup Mr. Natsume drank from was found completely empty at the scene. And let's not forget the defendant's maxim, drink tea while it's hot.
I did gulp from the poisoned cup that night, and in mine agony did I writhe uncontrolled. In fits of pain did I knock over the fellow's cup, and its contents spilt as blood from a gaping wound, methinks. Most certainly, it was after I had made the coins of ice from his tea. An upset cup was found on the table that the victim was slumped over. There was no contradiction here.
It's true, there was no tea left in either cup we found at the scene. But still, something about this statement is troubling me. Yes, of course, I know what it is. It's Mr. Natsume's wise drink tea while it's hot maxim, isn't it? No, I'm not sure that's it.
Thank you, witness. Now reiterate for the court what it is that occupied you after your guest had left and before you drank your tea. When he departed by and by, I did use that tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice.
Hold it!
Yes, so that you could cheat the gas company, in fact. Isn't that right?
Cheat or to die? Is life's only choice?
Yes.
Faith to cheat be the wise choice, and mine occupation be not an ugly one. For thee, dost thou not see the beauty and simplicity of the ruse? No, I don't, and be very sure so. Once this trial's over, Altamont Gas will take you to task over this legal task. I shall not run, I shall not hide. Sooth to say, I have nowhere to run nor hide. But my lady, what wouldst thou do? What wouldst thou with this pitiful player? Oh, I'll tell you what I'd like to do with you, starting with a shoddy shirt on your back. It's time for a Shamspeare dance.
What a harsh world we live in.
The thieving of the gas was addressed in yesterday's proceedings. The prosecution calls on the defense not to muddy the waters with irrelevancy. Consider that a warning, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Why am I the one in trouble here?
Mr. Shamspeare, if the accused returned to his own lodgings, you used his tea to make your coins. Is that correct? To cheat or to die? I did make my choice many moons ago. Thus, 'tis no surprise that poison not be found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap.
Hold it!
If having first made your special coins, it was after 2 in the morning when you collapsed. That would mean you can't have drunk any tea yourself until around that time.
Once ensnared by literary debate, not else found, what else be found in the full furrows of the mind?
Debate about Romeo and Juliet, you mean? And who was the stronger of the two?
Rightly did I pay no heed to the tea as I wrestled with the abominable fellow.
I don't remember debates like that when I was studying. Ugh, this is maybe too warm now.
Are you suggesting that neither of you actually drank the tea whilst it was hot that evening?
Goodness.
My lord, wouldst thou be privy to some Shakespearean wisdom? Husband, wife, and tea ought I to be.
Ah, yes, so very true. Everyone has different preferences when it comes to tea. I think you might have interpreted that wrongly. So it's been proven that there was no poison in Soseki-san's tea. That should be hugely in our favor. But the atmosphere in this courtroom today feels as though everybody is against us, Mr. Naruhodo. It must be the Reaper's poison. I'm afraid that if we don't find a significant flaw in this testimony somewhere, the jury will pounce and find Mr. Natsume guilty. It really feels like we've jumped into the fire here.
Anyway, look at this.
Objection.
You claim that Mr. Natsume didn't drink a drop of tea on the night in question. But that's impossible.
How, Chop Logic? What is this, you dark-clad fiend?
The 2 teacups from the scene, one used by the victim and the other by the defendant, have a clear difference between them. One that represents incontrovertible proof.
Incontrovertible? What difference?
Look at the inside of the cups. Just here, there's a clearly visible ring.
Yes, a tea ring. Commonplace enough. Indeed, such stains occur all too readily when one leaves tea in the cup for a while.
And yet, Mr. Natsume's cup has no such ring.
Good lord, you're right. It's completely clean. And prithee, sir, what makest thou of it?
Exactly what Mr. Natsume told the court yesterday. The Japanese saying he quoted.
Drink tea?
Well, it's hot. That's right. Yes. The jittery Mr. Natsume was true to his usual self that night and drank his tea in no time.
Huh?
If, as you claim in your testimony, he didn't touch a drop of his tea, a ring would have developed on the inside of his cup as well after the several hours the tea was left standing.
But,
in short, Mr. Shamspeare, you clearly lied to the court.
the twin hungry.
Objection.
As a rule, I fill my hallowed chalice up to 7 times during any horn trial.
That's a lot of wine. Oops, that's the wrong button. You might want to keep that information to yourself.
Yet, on occasion, tedium distracts me, and I pour more times than I intended until the bottle is dry.
Your drinking habits are fascinating, but irrelevant.
On the contrary, they illustrate the fickleness of human memory. William Shakespeare. Yes, my liege. Though you previously stated that you made the coins of ice from the leftover tea in the accused's cup. Could it be that you were perhaps mistaken? Could it be that, yes, perhaps there was some tea remaining in a small teapot left at the scene? A fact that had vanished from your memory until now. Faith, my liege, thou art a magician. For verily, 'tis as though thou hast seen with thine own eyes at night. What? Forsooth, I was mistook. I did plan to use the tea from the Japanese fellow's cup, but lo, when I looked, 'twas empty. And thus did use the dregs that festered in the teapot, as my liege did suggest.
Objection!
And you've just suddenly remembered now that you made a mistake before? Are we supposed to believe that?
Objection!
People's memories are imperfect, my learned friend, which is why we rely on evidence instead. But in any case, it makes no difference. The victim's most recent testimony tells us two things of note. Firstly, that the poison was put into the victim's teacup only. And secondly, that the spoilt cup was not the source of the insipid ice coins that had bewitched this court. Prosecution makes a fine summary of the facts. Furthermore, the testimony remains valid and in full support of the established facts. In other words, the inconsistency claimed by the defense simply does not exist.
No.
What does this mean, then? I do declare it means there's no issue with the gas thief's testimony. Apart from the bit about thieving gas, obviously. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen of the jury, I do solemnly swear, after I did dine at Crab's Grubbery Ale House that night, naught did pass my lips but the black tea given me by the Japanese whose back be stooped as low as death. And on what did you dine, sir? I did partake of my favourites, a broth that's supposed to be called soup, and a leaf that's supposed to be called salad. As insalubrious a menu as the establishment where I was served. What ye gods would give us some faults to make us men. Willingly would I suffer what punishment to seem fit to serve a wicked thief of gas, but I pray you wise and noble fellows, never forget the simple truth. That be one thing, and this be another. Jurors all, your humble servant Shakespeare doth entreat you, punish the Japanese fellow for his sins. My lord! Who's this? You, if I may speak, my lord. Yes, Mr. Foreman? I believe we may have been duped by the fraud and defense lawyer.
By me?
I do declare you may be right. We all know the waif there was making coins of ice to keep himself warm. But this lawyer lad says if he's stealing gas, he deserves a dose of poison, eh? He's been leading us up the garden path, that's what he's been doing.
I've really never said anything like that.
What we just heard from the victim there has opened our eyes again. We've reached a decision this time. We won't be swayed from it. The court acknowledges the position of the jury foreman and will duly hear the jury's findings.
But no, you can't yet.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your decisions now.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
I hereby declare the jury to be in one accord. Oh, happy day!
How is this happening? My lord, the defense asserts its right to carry out a summation examination.
Very well, the court upholds the defense's right. Typical. My learned friend is unable to accept the obvious truth. This trial will therefore enter its second summation examination immediately. Jurors, the court calls upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime of which he is charged. How exactly is he meant to have found strychnine? I don't really know where you get that. Like, what's it made of? Hopping out of logic me, and having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty. I do agree the gas is far too expensive. I can quite understand why the man would want to avoid paying. The stuff explodes and it could poison you. It's absolutely lethal gases. Gas doesn't come for free. It costs a fortune to deliver it around the city and maintain the pipes. Truth be told, the tea my wife serves up for me is a little sketchy at times. If nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, and there's no other explanation, is there? Two people are on topic here. I do feel that perhaps personal opinion about gas and its supplies influence decisions somewhat. But, never mind.
No, you really should mind.
The truth is, our counter-argument wasn't as unassailable as we'd hoped. And Mr. Shamspeare was poisoned. There can be no doubt of that.
And how are we supposed to turn this around?
I think we need to establish the method by which Mr. Shamspeare was actually poisoned. Our only hope is to demonstrate that to the court incontrovertibly.
But that's surely almost impossible at this stage.
If we don't manage it, though, Mr. Natsume will
be found guilty.
Odalay's counsel proceed with this Mason examination. Meow meow. Logic me, and having considered all the evidence.
Hold it!
All the evidence, you say?
That's right. There's no room for doubt. It's all pointing at that Japanese man with the big mustache.
The English man with the bigger mustache.
Which means we need to show the man some new evidence to make him change his mind.
Only we had that kind of evidence.
Terrible chair. Trying to sit up better, but yeah, I think once this stream is over, I'm gonna see about finding a thing I can set this microphone up on top of a little bit. Even if I just find like some books no one's using, just stack them up. That'd probably be the most easily available option, honestly. Don't worry, the summation examination has barely started, really. Perhaps there will be a shift in the situation that shows an existing piece of evidence in a new light.
Let's hope so. To start with, though, I need to find some way out of this deadlock.
I do agree that gas is far too expensive, and I can quite understand why the man would want to avoid paying.
Hold it!
This isn't the time or the place to be discussing the price of gas, madam. But really, think of the injustice. Half is gas and half is free. Why should ultimate gas cost money? It makes my blood boil. I feel myself becoming more ruthless than ever. This isn't the time or the place to be ruthless either. If I might interject here? Yes, madam? It seems my fellow juror takes issues with the price of our company charges for gas. And it's precisely because of thieves like this man that the cost goes up. Oh, what a beastly man. That unkempt mustache, those hunched shoulders, poisoning tea and stealing gas, utterly unforgivable. You seem to have mixed them up a bit. No, Mr. Natsume isn't the one who's been stealing gas. I'll thank you not to go adding on more crimes. Mr. Natsume hasn't been poisoning tea either. Well, anyway, I've quite made up my mind. That's as made up as the price of gas.
Wow, water. Go on, eating ice. Yeah. Zuko! He's so loud. So lonely. No one's ever paying attention to him. He doesn't want to come in the room I'm in. He doesn't want to come hang out here. He wants me to go find him, and then he wants... I don't even know. To hang out in the kitchen, I think.
Could we please talk about the poison rather than the gas, do you think, sir?
Well, if you like. I mean, to be honest, I'd take poison over gas every time.
You take poison?
What I mean is, poison can only poison you. It doesn't explode, does it? Goodness me, what are you talking about? Set him straight, please, lawyer man.
Well, it's certainly true that poison isn't prone to exploding. But I think you'll find poison also can't light or heat up a room.
Oh, you're right. I hadn't considered that at all. Young lawyer man.
Yes?
You have a good head on your shoulders. We could use someone like you as our company's legal representative.
Well, I wasn't expecting to pick up more business in the middle of a trial, that's for sure.
Anyway, the point is, I haven't had the best experience with gas companies in the past. Gas doesn't come for free. It costs a fortune to deliver around the city and maintain the pipes.
Hold it!
Can we please refrain from all this talk of gas?
There's an all-out attack underway here, in case you hadn't noticed, against my company's gas. No one's, like, doing anything, right? It usually pops up a thing, but... Oh, I'm supposed to sit here and take it, am I? I don't think so.
She's really buzzing now.
All I've heard about are wonderful fuels, explosions, and poisonings. What about electricity, What about getting electrocuted? What about that? A little explosion here and there's nothing in comparison. I think you'll find that it is. One person getting electrocuted is less dangerous than an explosion, which can kill multiple people and also destroy the building. Any explosion could hardly be described as nothing, madam. Nevertheless, the theft of your gas is deplorable. My point exactly, but the gas thieves aren't even the worst of our enemies. They're far more devious reprobates to contend with on a daily basis, you know.
More devious? Who, madam?
Other gas companies, of course.
Other gas companies? Not quite what I was expecting.
We generate gas and we give it to our customers fair and square. I don't think you're generating it, you're getting it from somewhere. Indeed, and nobody is questioning that, madam. Ultima is an exemplary gas company. But there are other unscrupulous gas companies here in London that don't even have any gas at all.
What? But if they don't have any gas, how do they go out selling it to people?
You wouldn't think it possible, would you? But they steal our gas, you see, and sell that. They steal your gas? How on earth is such a thing possible? Gas companies like ours deliver gas to people's homes via a network of pipes. And these devious reprobates secretly disconnect our pipes and divert our gas into their own rotten pipes. And they make a contract with the household supplied by those pipes. Take money for the precious gas that's rightfully ours without us even knowing.
They're diverting gas into their own pipes illegally. What a brazen form of theft.
When we visit customers' houses to collect the money from the meters, we always have to check whether or not one of these devious companies has been up to its tricks.
Oh. What is that face?
Excuse me.
What are you doing?
Stop.
Do you have something to say about that, juror number 3?
Oh golly, you mean me? I'm terribly sorry. I was just thinking to myself.
I really did catch him off guard there. Thinking about what the lady next to you was saying, correct?
Well, yes. I just got a little riled up about it recently, you see.
Go on.
An Altamont gas worker visited my house the other day to investigate the pipe work. We need to ask for your cooperation while we carry out a secret check of your property, sir, the fellow said. So I let him in, and do you know what he did?
I'm, afraid I have no idea. Please tell us.
He proceeded to take one of my lights off the wall. And he grabbed the exposed mouth of the pipe and started blowing into it. What do you think you're doing, young man? You're giving away company secrets there. Oh, please, everybody knows. That's very nearly the death of me, I can tell you.
What do you mean?
I'll explain if you don't mind. As I said before, these unscrupulous other gas companies connect their customers to our pipe network.
Yes, but how does blowing into the pipes come into it?
Obviously, there's gas in the pipes, and it's a fairly low pressure. By blowing air through the pipe, you can make the pressure drop temporarily. And if you do that, any lights connected to the same pipe will flicker for a moment. Ah, I see. In other words, if upon blowing into the pipe, the lights of an adjacent property that has no contract with your company flicker, you can know that these devious scoundrels have been meddling with the pipes. Is that what all those hands up on the wall were about? Was he doing something like that? Not sure to what end exactly. Exactly, my lord. That's it in a nutshell. It's the reason why we have teams of workers going around neighborhoods to investigate which lights flicker. The trouble is, the particular worker who came to my house didn't know the strength of his own breath. He blew down the pipe with all his might, and you can guess what happened, can't you?
Well, if he blew hard, then... Wait, you mean...
That's right, the lights didn't just flicker, they went out, along with the stove. Gas started pouring into the house.
What a disaster.
The gas supply must have been interrupted briefly because the man blew too hard, so the flames went out. I'm afraid I yelled at the fellow. "You're trying to kill us all," I said.
So by disconnecting a lamp and blowing into the exposed gas pipe, it's possible to extinguish lamps and stoves connected to the same network of pipes.
He was trying to kill him. Oh my goodness.
And then when the gas starts flowing again, it just silently seeps into the room. Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps... Yes, this is almost certainly the clue we've been hoping for. Juror number 3, the defense requests that you amend your statement to include that information.
Oh, well, if you'd like, I don't mind.
Well, I do. That's our company's secret method of identifying the rogues trying to... Like I said, madam, it's widely known already.
Hello, Zuko. You've come into the room?
Yes, you have. Would you like to come over here and just sit on my lap so you can be happy and chill and quiet?
Would you do that for me? So that you may stop yelling? Hold on 1 second. Let us put the cat in my lap. Hello, dear sweet boy.
I gotta put my headphones up so I don't...
Hello, dear sweet boy. Do not run away. You will sit right here, and you will sit, and you will be quiet. Welcome to the stream. You will sit and be quiet and happy, yes? You can do this for me. You cannot do this for me. You're leaving immediately. Fine. There you go. Ugh. Noise.
Well, juror number 3, we'll amend your statement accordingly. You didn't mess up the wire, did he? No, it looks fine. Yes, my lord, although I'm not really sure what the point of all this is. Blow too hard into a gas pipe and you extinguish everything in the house, and then you're in real trouble. That also explains why he's so determined to get this guy in trouble for this. Normally the victim doesn't generally have an opinion on who... Whoops! I hit that by accident while I was moving.
When you say extinguish everything in the house, do you mean even on different floors?
Oh yes, all floors are connected to the same pipe after all. That's true of every building. Because gas supply contracts are issued for whole properties.
Well, I had no idea that it was possible to extinguish gas appliances simply by blowing down the pipe.
It's not something we like to publicize, to be honest. But we have to carry out these investigations, as I'm sure you can appreciate. Indeed, it has been mentioned on more than one occasion in the papers even.
Is that so? It's been mentioned to me too, very recently. An incident involving the gas stove going out inexplicably, almost leading to someone's death. Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps... Yes, it's finally starting to fall into place. A secret link that joins all of these strange occurrences.
Gas doesn't come for free, it costs a fortune to deliver. Okay, well, you're complaining about tea. You're talking about something potentially relevant, but we have a thing to pursue here. I'm not actually sure where to put this against someone. Did anyone say anything relevant to this? Oh yeah, we can say, what if he gas poisoned? That's an idea. I'd like to press that though, just to be sure.
Hold it!
You mean it's poisoned?
That's right. I've had a tidy few times now. And this is most troubling indeed. It's always days like this one when I don't get any wages. I get in at tea time, see? I start doing it to my wife. She gets that devilish look on her face. She slips some white powder into my cup.
And you drink it anyway?
As brought up proper I was. Someone gives you a cup while you drink it.
And what happened to you? What did it taste like?
It's god awful, believe you me. Salty as hell.
That's not poison. Then I think perhaps what your wife put in your tea was salt.
Oh! So, she doesn't even care enough to poison me properly, eh? Unbelievable.
Let's move on, please.
If nothing else passed the victim's lips that night... If nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there?
Hold it!
Does that mean that if the victim could be shown to have ingested something else, you'd change your leaning?
Sorry. What's that now?
Oh, I was just saying if the victim did actually eat or drink something else on that night.
What's the matter with you?
Sorry?
I said if nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there? Haven't you been listening to me at all?
I feel there's an English expression about a pot and a kettle that's appropriate here. Compared to the other jurors who don't even appear to have anything to say about the case at all. It would seem that this elderly gentleman has been listening to the proceedings far more intently. I suppose the trouble is... he has selective hearing. Exactly. But still, this juror may well be the key to the breakthrough that we so desperately need.
Okay, that's what we want.
This is hopeless. There's no way for me to appeal to these people. I do think that the only way we shall overcome this difficult situation is by exposing the way in which Mr. Shamspear was really poisoned.
Damn.
We have to prove that it happened some other way, and not via Mr. Natsume's tea. Yes, I know. The trouble is, I have absolutely no idea how it did happen. Mr. Naruhodo, I wonder if perhaps there's something that you might have forgotten. Oh, like what? It's important to watch everyone involved and pursue people if they react to something someone else says. I did that. If you'd like me to remind you exactly what I mean, I'll be more than happy to, of course. Once again, Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands here. I probably owe it to my client to hear any evidence my assistant may be able to offer. Probably ought to let Sato-san remind me. And again, I literally already did it. Actually, I don't think there's any need. It's vital that we start trying to change these jurors' minds as soon as possible. Of course, I'm sure you're right. But if you decide you would like your memory refreshed, you need only ask, Mr. Naruhodo. Here. Look at this.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good gracious. Whose statements do you refer, counsel?
Juror number 6. Did you hear what juror number 3 just said?
What? Yes, of course. I heard him mumbling about something or other.
There is another explanation here, I believe. Something besides Mr. Natsume's tea did, in a manner of speaking, pass the victim's lips on the night in question.
What explanation?
I wonder, did the police check the mouth of the gas pipe feeding the wall light at the scene? To see if there were any traces of poison there.
I was curious. I was curious to see what your floundering would result in this time. With the mouth of a gas pipe. Scotland Yard have enough to do without exploring such irrelevance. What a piece of work as a man.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Shamspear?
What speakest thou, prithee? Is it not strange and strange? That is what I say to thee, sir.
I thought I'd been quite clear, but let me put it another way. The strychnine could have been on the mouth of the gas pipe that feeds the wall lamp in your room. And that is how the poison came to enter your body.
Good lord. Are they tasty, then, gas pipes? Is that what he's saying?
Oh, is the gentleman suggesting that the poor man was so desperately hungry he tried to fill his belly with gas? Perhaps some actress would perform a kiss scene with him, Well, shame, madam, speaking thy fancy. I assure you I'm not such a buffoon that have to kiss pipes.
Objection!
This is no summation examination. This is a farce. Prosecution will not stand for any more of my learned Nipponese friend's conjecture. To begin with, the lamp in the victim's room is high on the wall. In order to replace his lipstick pipe that feeds it, he would have to be a contortionist. There's a box there. These are empty assertions. There's no possible proof that the man did as you say.
Objection!
It's true, I have no proof that Mr. Shamspeare put his lips to the pipe. However, I can say with some certainty that on multiple occasions, Mr. Shamspeare has been doing something in front of that lamp on his wall. I have evidence to prove it.
Alright, you got our attention, lad. I'd like to see how you can be so sure of yourself. So would I see this evidence then?
Now that I've got the jury's ear, I need to make this opportunity count. This is the proof that time and time again, Mr. Shamspeare stood in front of his gas lamp.
Take that!
What the?
These are... wait, what are they called? Yes, skin prints that were found at the scene.
Skin Prints Council? I've never heard of such things. The Justice Ministry is currently assessing whether or not to permit fingerprints as evidence in court, however.
My lord, this is an exciting new forensic technique developed by the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. It reveals all of the places that Mr. Shamspeare touched in his room.
Out of water. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that's black magic, isn't it?
Well, if anyone could have meant something like this, it's that great Sholmes fellow, that's for sure.
I agree. This month's edition of Engineering Thumbs was quite fascinating.
He found skin prints in many places that you would expect. On the table, on the costumes. However, Mr. Shamspeare also appears to have been touching some very unexpected places in his room. For example, here.
Around the hanging picture there. Indeed, multiple handprints appear to be visible. Well, I wonder, could he have been appreciating the artwork, perhaps?
At first, my colleagues and I thought the same. However, imagine standing with your hands where those prints are, and you would find yourself directly in front of...
I don't believe it!
the gas lamp. Though the reason why isn't immediately obvious, it's clear that Mr. Shamspeare has regularly been standing with his hands to the wall in front of that lamp.
Right! What have you been up to, you nut?
I'd ask the court to recall juror number 4's earlier statement.
Me? What did I say?
You said that blowing into a gas pipe would make the lights in the entire building flicker. Now, if you'll recall juror number 3's statement.
Me now?
When the gas worker who visited his home blew with too much force into the pipe, it caused all the lights and the gas stove to go out, and gas to start leaking into the rooms. Obviously, that incident was an accident. However, the simple fact is, if Mr. Shamspeare were to have blown hard into the gas pipe here in this room, he could have extinguished every other light and gas stove in the building at will.
Crikey! Are you suggesting that the man purposefully caused the gas to...
Objection!
What?
Whilst I acknowledge that the prosecution is required to remain silent during a summation examination, I must toast my learned friend's utter disregard for the letter of the law. What is the meaning of this, Lord Van Zieks? This curious photograph, whatever it is, presented by the defense, so-called skin prints. Clearly, that cannot be accepted as any form of usable evidence in this case. But it's an exciting new forensic technique developed by a great detective. It's nothing. Only a toy developed by an amateur sleuth with too much time on his hands. Certainly even research of this nature by the esteemed Mr. Sholmes cannot be recognized by the courts as formal evidence.
But... Please, my lord, if I may. Mr. Sato? It was not the defense's intention to submit the skin prints as formal evidence. We merely wish to present the results of the great detective's investigation at the scene, as a tool by which to explain a possibility to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. And if the trial were to come to an end now, we should never learn the truth behind these mysterious handprints that everyone has now seen. I don't believe we can allow that to happen, and I'm sure the jurors would agree.
You're right. Whether those strange handprints are a significant clue or not, it's down to us to decide.
Juror number 3.
Oh yes, I do declare the great detective's investigations and results sound absolutely fascinating. And I want to hear what that shady actor fellow has to say about those shady handprints. What's the matter with you two? It was foolhardy.
Well, I did say it, didn't I? And I don't like to break a promise.
No, wait! You heard his lordship. It's not fair to dink him every...
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. If just one more juror changes his or her mind, Mr. Natsume's trial will have to continue. Thank you, Mr. Sato. I couldn't have done it without you. Oh, no. It was you who identified the clue after all. This is very much your success. Why, Mr. Shamspeare? You see, why, Mr. Shamspeare? You seem to be losing your composure. Just one more juror, Mr. Naruhodo. You can do it!
Very well, continue, counsel.
You have logic me. Considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty.
Hold it!
All the evidence, you say?
That's right. There's no room for doubt. It's all pointed at that Japanese man with the big mustache.
This is the Englishman with the bigger mustache. But the defense just demonstrated another possible explanation for the events on the night in question. What do you make of that?
What so-called skin prints?
It's an exciting new forensic investigation technique, developed by the great detective himself. The numerous handprints on the wall are clearly out of the ordinary. And if Mr. Shamspeare has indeed put his mouth to the gas pipe on the night in question, it can't be denied that there's a possibility that's where the poison was.
Well, yes, I won't deny that it's playing on my mind. As the prosecution rightly says, we should pay no heed to unacceptable forms of evidence. Besides,
Yes?
even if a fellow has been up to some mischief with the gas pipe dozens of times before, it doesn't mean he got up to the same shenanigans on the night in question, does it?
Oh,
You can't make your case better than that, and I'm afraid I can't change my stance.
you do make a very valid point, sir. What the...
That's true. Perhaps I was a little hasty.
No, wait!
Look, you got your chance here, haven't you? It's time to prove your theory. You and your Japanese cohorts can, that is.
Just leave our nationality out of this, please.
Mr. Naruhodo, if we can't substantiate our position, I'm afraid the jurors that have changed their minds before may very well change them back.
What can I do? Is there any more proof I can give here? Can I show that Mr. Shamsphere really did blow down that gas pipe in the night in question?
Wait, yeah, we have, well,
No. In truth, I don't have evidence to support my theory. However, there is a witness testimony that substantiates it.
what's that? Testimony? This is incredible. Whose testimony?
Yes, it's all connected. Everything is linked. The person whose testimony revealed details about the gas in the Garadev residence that night. Namely... There he is.
Take that!
Well, Mr. Foreman, does that convince you?
What? Okay, do we want to hear from Soseki-san then?
I don't think he was listening.
Mr. Short, counsel, I shan't let such nonsensical answers go without penalty. It was a perfectly reasonable answer if he'd, like, expounded on it at all.
I thought I got away with it. Witness who spoke about the gas on the night in question. Yes, there was someone.
Figured they wouldn't want to hear from the defendant.
That's what I thought too. I obviously chose the wrong person.
Don't just go forward.
Hold it!
Let me try again, immediately. I know who it is now, if it wasn't that one. I don't care. I have information. You don't need to say all this again. I have words for you. I'll tell you about a different witness that you'll like better. He's already here. Don't worry about it. Testimony? Incredible. Whose testimony? All connected. Yes.
Take that!
Figure they wouldn't want to hear from the defendant. That's not helpful.
Obviously, I'm talking about the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume himself.
Defendant?
At the very beginning of the proceedings here in court yesterday, Mr. Natsume said the following.
My lodgings! There's been a whole... My lodgings. There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. Even on that fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Shamsphere's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me.
On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. So I asked the court, was that a mere coincidence or not?
Good golly! So that Shamsphere fellow blew air into the gas pipe to make the man's stove go out on purpose. Hold your horses there. What would you do that for?
Mr. Foreman,
What is it, man?
we cannot allow judgment to be passed whilst this doubt remains. It's true that I don't have conclusive evidence yet. However, You must surely agree there's more to this case than meets the eye. Ugh.
Fair enough. Like I said at the outset, I'm a man of logic first and foremost.
That's 4 jurors leaning toward not guilty, my lord. We've overturned the decision. Therefore, the defense calls for the trial to continue.
As the defendant has rightfully indicated, the summation examination has concluded with a majority of jurors altering their decisions. 2 jury members now call guilty, 4 now call not guilty. Therefore, jury's opinion is conflicted, and, in accordance with the law of this land, I hereby order the continuation of this trial. Mr. William Shamspeare. My lord, how can thy humble Shamspeare serve thee? What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation examination? God mend me, I do solemnly swear, I recall aught of either the lamp or the piper. But your handprints made a tidy mess all over the wall there. How do you explain that, eh? I am done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already. Juror number 5. Who, me? As I went to some pains to point out already, a print from the self-professed detective's toy has no place in a British court of law. As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gas lamp with his hands against the wall remains at this time unestablished conjecture. You wouldn't all do well to remember that.
Objection!
But the prosecution must concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just order the mouth of the gas pipe feeding that lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room to be examined. If there are traces of poison there...
Objection!
What appears to be extremely simple is my Nipponese friend's mind. You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of tea were required.
Yes.
Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine that even if poison were to have been spread on the pipe, it would have completely evaporated by now, making any analysis impossible.
I didn't think of that.
In any case, counsel, I fail to see what could possibly have motivated the man to do as you describe. Why on earth would this fellow have wanted to blow air into the gas pipework where he lived?
There's only one possibility that I can think of, and that is to use the leaking gas to commit murder.
I guess he probably killed that other guy too. Wait, no, that was Pipes. Yeah, and the... wasn't it? Yeah. Unless it just happened to also be that all the Pipes were really unfortunate. Order! Order! Counsel! Precisely whose life do you propose this man was plotting to end?
The answer couldn't be simpler. Now we've unraveled the mystery this far. Mr. Shamspeare wanted to end the life of...
Take that!
If a gas lamp were to go out, it would be noticed immediately, of course. But a gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing.
I live around those parts myself, so I know what it's like. I can tell you, trying to sleep without the stove lit is pretty much suicide. You'd freeze to death in no time.
Mr. Gardeb, the landlord, has a large fireplace in his part of the residence on the top floor. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger whose life Mr. Shamspeare was trying to end.
Outrageous!
I'm talking, of course, about the defendant. Mr. Natsume isn't the villain in this case. He's the victim this man was trying to murder.
Gracious.
Objection!
The accused is actually the aggrieved. Interesting. However, fundamental facts of this case remain unchanged. Namely, that the accused is the aggressor here.
What? How can you still claim that?
Let us indulge your fancies for a moment and assume that there was indeed poison on the mouth of the gas pipe. The question that then arises is who put it there?
Who did put it there?
The only logical conclusion is that the person responsible was aware of this man's trickery with the gas supply and his intent to kill. Yes, that would indeed seem logical. If the assailant were unaware, how would he or she have known to lace the end of the gas pipe with poison? So now we must ask. How could anyone have known of Mr. Shamspeare's murderous designs?
You mean to suggest?
Naturally, the sole possible answer to that question couldn't be more obvious. Only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known.
What?
In other words, the person who put the poison on the gas pipe in what was a clear retaliatory attack can only have been the accused, Mr. Sonseki Natsume. Whatever Mr. William Shamspeare may or may not have contrived to do, he was nevertheless the victim of a potentially lethal poison attack. And the only person who could have possibly perpetrated that attack is the accused, Mr. Natsume. The defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused. Far from it. In fact, now that a clear motive for the poisoning has been successfully established, that suspicion is greater than ever. Would you not agree, my Nipponese friend?
I put ice in my elbow. Maybe I need to put less ice in the cup and more water when I fill it up before this. I've been running out.
How did he manage to turn that around on me so rapidly?
Mr. Naruto, you must respond. Otherwise, the members of the jury may very well change their leanings against us again.
And this may be our last chance to gain the advantage. What advantage? Well, it would seem that somebody put poison on the gas pipe in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So we must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume of guilt. You mean the true culprit? I know it might sound impossible, but if we fail to do that, I have no doubt that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed once and for all. As it happens, one possible culprit does come to mind. The evidence, the poison, it's all pointing to a particular person now.
Prosecution calls for the jury to consider their leanings again. I trust you'll make the correct choice this time, Mr. Foreman. What? Don't you worry.
Objection.
Exactly what...
There is one other person who I believe could have been involved in all of this. The true culprit of this crime.
The true culprit. A term found only in second-rate novels featuring third-rate great detectives, Nipponi's friend. But why not? This farce has gone on for so long already. I see no reason to cut it short before its disappointing climax.
Thank you.
Tell us, my learned Nipponi's friend, what is your latest theory? Who's the so-called true culprit of this crime? I mean, it makes sense to be this guy. He'd be the one who'd be over there. Could go in and be like, I gotta check this stuff, but don't worry about it.
Take that!
You claim this person is the true culprit.
Highly suspicious, I would say, yes.
Perhaps my learned Nipponi's friend should turn those wide eyes of suspicion on yourself.
What?
It seems to me that your reckless reasoning makes you far more than anyone else you could name. A very dangerous man indeed.
Mr. Naruto, please, you must concentrate.
Okay, well. I mean, I could say her, but I figured I should point to the person who'd actually been there doing it.
I was trying to. Then, you must concentrate harder. Ugh, harsh.
Who is... Okay. First off, let's just... How about...
Take that!
Okay, well, what do you mean then? If it's not the incredibly obvious people. It's not this dead man. There's no reason for it to have been you. You've also been unconscious. No. No. He wouldn't poison himself. No. I have a dead man here.
Take that!
Do you want this? Probably not. I don't. I've said both of the obvious people, and it's not them. So what do we mean then? There's no reason for it to be that guy.
Take that!
It's stupid, but... What am I missing here? What am I missing? We can start going down the list.
Take that!
Seems unlikely. I don't. Oh, it looked weird when it was fading. What am I missing here? What is it? If it's not either of them, then it's... You!
Take that!
I guess she could want revenge. I guess that'd be reasonable, but she was sort of... Actually, during the time she wasn't around... No, Soseki's son wasn't there either, because he was, in jail. So he might not have bothered with it those days. I suppose.
The name of the person responsible for the poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspierre is, I believe, Miss Olive Green.
Miss Olive Green? Miss Olive Green. I do feel as though I've heard that name in the recent past, Council, but I don't recall where. Who's Loud Plane? There's so many low-flying planes around here. They're so noisy, and I don't know why. Go away. Miss Olive Green. Woman from 6 days ago. Victim in the recent case of the stabbing on Briar Road. An incident for which Mr. Natsume was arrested, I hasten to add. Oh, of course, yes, Miss Green. She was left comatose for some 3 days, I believe, but I hear she regained consciousness 2 days ago. I hardly need remind the court that Mr. Shamspierre's poisoning took place 3 days ago. Given that the woman was lying comatose in a hospital bed at the time, she appears to have a rather fine alibi.
True. On the night the incident occurred, Miss Green was in the hospital unconscious. So on the face of it, it would seem that she couldn't possibly be responsible, but still. My colleagues and I visited Miss Green in the hospital yesterday, and we found her to be in possession of a bottle of poison.
Good gracious, she had poison.
And there's another fact that links Miss Green to this case as well. The defense requests that she be brought to the witness stand in order to explain the details to the court.
Tell me, Mr. Shamspierre. My lord, pray what be thy bidding? Are you acquainted with Miss Green? No, never heard of her.
Judging by the look on Mr. Shamspierre's face, I think perhaps he genuinely doesn't know her, at least not by name.
As the voice of Her Majesty's prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We will see my learned Nipponese friend's farce through to its conclusion.
I appreciate that.
Prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena the witness and bring her here. Yes, Miss Olive Green? Yes, Miss Olive Green. Indeed, my lord. 1 hour should be sufficient. Very well, I grant the request.
Excellent. I hope.
My defense has made a most extraordinary accusation, I must say. But at the present time, I feel the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid the defendant and his culpability remain the sole subject of this court's attention. Thank you, counsels. We reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned. Be continued. Well, given it's set up a whole to be continued, it might be good to stop here. Not sure how long that next bit will last. And I'm out of water. And it's almost 11. It's probably good to stop here. Yeah. So that should be all for today. Game's been saved. On Monday, we'll be back. We'll get back into the trial. We'll talk to her, see what the deal is. Wednesday, I'll be playing more of that Detective Conan game. It seems like I'm pretty far through it already, so I'll probably be able to finish it up then, honestly. Doesn't seem very long. Yes. Monday morning, I'll be back and we'll do the trial. But that will be all for now. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Hello?